Hey, hey. So, Regina.
Hello, everybody. Regina Johnson.
Michelle Tompkins. This is the start of a new podcast, video, blog, whatever you want to call it. Real talk, love, loss, and recovery. Two sides of addiction.
Yes.
One honest conversation. And again, it's love, loss, and recovery. We'll be putting some information on as well.
Excuse me while I turn my phone on silent as I thought I had been prepared. Real life. Hey, y'all, this is real life. Real time, real life, real talk.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, Regina, so
That part?
yep, that part.
Okay. So we wanted to do this because we wanted to provide ways to share resources with people, share our stories, and just really have some honest conversations. This is In It and Out of It, the podcast where two different stories of addiction come together to meet one honest conversation. And share, again, like I said, experiences and all the things.
Yeah, so we've had many conversations, and then it was like, we can't be the only ones. Like, we just can't. So we are going to be talking about what most people are afraid to talk about or say out loud, talking about the pain, the hope, the love, the lies, the everything in between when you are living with or know someone in addiction,
or even in it right now.
Yeah,
as we
or inactive.
talk. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that's what we're gonna be. That's what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah, and whether you're in it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're out of it, like me, 17 years, right? Or, thank you, if you're loving someone who's in it, we just want you to know you're not alone.
Absolutely.
You are not alone. You can always, we'll get to that in a minute, I think, DM us, questions, resources, whatever you need. We're here to just be a light.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Let's do
it. So again, thanks for sitting with us through this conversation. It's not going to be easy. Mm-hmm. You may see some tears shed, probably. But it's real raw emotions.
And in order to start any new journey, mm-hmm. you have to be vulnerable.
Oh, absolutely.
And to start the healing, to start all the things, right? You have to get vulnerable. And that's just real talk.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Let's see.
So,
Yeah. So if today's episode 1, all right, if it's hitting home with you, right? The things that we're getting ready to talk about, if they hit home or you just need someone to talk to, if you need our notes or the things we've talked about today, like if you want them as reminders, DM us, let us know. We've got resources and links to help you.
Absolutely. And of course we'll remind you at the end, mm-hmm. but don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, share, even if it's someone all the things anyone might want to or need it. I kind of want to start with some of the statistics that I have. So I've been doing some research, doing some trainings, all the things. Common confessions whoever the addict is or was in our lives. You may hear something like, I'm a shell of the person I was before I began loving him or her.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, it's a statement that we hear often with someone who's in love with an addict. It's very heartbreaking, very devastating. It's very traumatic. So some stats are over 75 million people in the U.S. struggle with some sort of addiction. Some sort. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean alcohol or drugs.
Yeah, there's very sociably acceptable addictions we all can probably say we share. Whether it is, like I've said, and we'll get into later, addiction to food, addiction to whatever. The socially acceptable addictions.
And those 75 million that I'm talking about, it's a really low number because there's hundreds of thousands remain under the radar.
I meant what you
people, people who don't talk about it, people who don't get help for it, so they kind of go under the radar in that. More than 70% never receive help or treatment of any kind of their addiction. Divorce rates are high. They're higher when there is an addict in the home. At least 35% higher than those without addicts in the home.
Yeah.
Research also indicates that over 50% of adults have a loved one or a close friend struggling with addiction. That's according to the U.S. population reports. So that would mean that over 130 million people have been impacted. Right?
It's a big deal.
If you're one of those 130 million people, like we are.
And even if you're not, you know somebody, right? Like,
yes.
We all know somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Equal number of males have been traumatized as women by loving an addict. They say that a lot of times the perception is the man is the addict.
Not always the case.
It's not always
right?
the case. Yeah. So men are also in this.
Oh yeah.
So again. Let's see.
Those are big numbers.
Yeah.
Those are really big numbers.
Every addict's response. Let's see. These are notes that I typed up last night because I will ramble.
Me too. You know how I get off on rabbit trails, and we always have to get ourselves back on. She and I, even when we're not recording. So y'all don't judge us. This is a judgment-free zone for everybody.
Absolutely. Every addict's response, even when sober, is influenced by their emotional immaturity and inability to cope with themselves. I thought drinking or using made those inabilities easier to accept when the buzz first hit. But the truth was, and is, as she drank more to keep that buzz maintained, the results were always either isolation or regret. And then I have heard, I'm not an alcoholic because I drink.
Oh yeah.
I'm an alcoholic because of the way I think.
Well, and that does go in with things we're going to be talking about. It is a thought process. It leads to our choices. And in a minute, we're going to share our stories and how we're here. As someone who's been clean and sober for 17 years, I can validate you have to retrain your mind. You have to make different choices. So that speaks to that. And drink. What did it say? What was it?
I'm not an alcoholic because I drink. I am an alcoholic because of the way I think.
That's right. That's right on.
Yeah. Because, so before we get into the other stuff, like the big debate, I had posted something on social media yesterday. Which kind of
brought this whole thing.
Yeah. I posted something about alcohol or addiction
It's not a disease.
It's not a disease like you think cancer is a disease or diabetes is a disease. It is a choice that you make. And I do understand this. This is very controversial.
It is controversial. And let's just say we're all going to agree to disagree. Everyone has their own opinions, and that's okay.
Sure, absolutely. And when I say it's a choice, so, you become an addict for whatever reason, right? Your mental health, you're numbing the pain, you're doing all the things, your mindset changes, and so it becomes a disease, right? It becomes a solution for your problem.
It infects your thought process. That's where the disease comes in.
Right. It's a mental health disease.
Mental
right?
health and addiction run hand in hand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's not that I don't agree that it's not a disease, but I believe once you go to treatment and you get the tools
Yes.
that you need,
Then it becomes your
choice
to do what?
Whatever.
Apply them?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where the controversy comes in, right? And a lot of times, and I don't really know your whole story, but
You know the majority of it.
yeah, but I am aware that recovery is not a one and done, right?
It's not.
And there's most likely going to be some relapses. But those relapses, from what I can tell, and I'm not an addict. I don't know because I'm not an addict, right? I'm on the outside looking in. Get me back on track because my mind
Recovery.
is going. Yeah, once you're recovered and you have the
relapses.
tools, and then
That's where
you
you're going.
relapse. That is a choice that you made because you thought you were healed and you thought you could handle it.
Which leads me into how I believe, right?
Sure, yeah.
So Michelle has said one word today called recovery, and that is in our Real Talk, Love, Loss, and Recovery. That's the title of our podcast. If you're just joining us, we've started this podcast, Real Talk, Love, Loss, and Recovery. So anyway, I am a word person, and my faith system believes differently. And so instead of recovery, because I don't want to be recovered, because I don't want to have to go back and redo all the things, right?
Okay.
I've been delivered and set free according to my faith system and according to my experience more than anything. It's not, I was provided the tools, right? When I decided to quit living a life of selfish choices and learn why. You have to ask yourself why I do the things I do. Why am I making the choices I make?
How many times,
All the things.
can I ask you, how many times did you relapse?
Never.
Before so you just went one and done.
One and done.
You made that choice.
Made the choice. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, after I made the choice, the steps that I had to be conscientious of to continue and be consistent with were not hard.
Oh, sure.
Because, see, I had lived 33 years with a mindset of I'm a victim, woe is me, blaming others, it's their fault.
Sure.
All the things
Yeah.
that addiction says to us that are walking that out. So I had to come to a place in my life at the age of 33.
Sure.
Ridiculous, I know. But
you're never too late.
And here's the thing. I was a functioning alcoholic.
Okay.
I worked. I was functioning in all that I did. And I was only addicted to a narcotic for 8 months prior to my decision to get help.
Okay.
But before that, and before the alcohol and the narcotic, my addiction for a long time was poor relationships and food.
Okay.
So I know about those things. And it was the hardest thing, but the best thing I ever did.
Okay. So I said that I'm not an addict, but you're mentioning poor relationships.
That's one. That was my red. I was like, what? Oh yeah, that's a whole nother addiction in itself.
Okay, so I've never thought about that. Jumping into the wrong relationship without. But how do you really know that is an issue?
Well, I knew it was because they weren't treating me how I should be treated. Number one.
Okay.
Some of them were drinking with me, drinking with me, doing things with me, all the things.
Sure.
But that's because I didn't value myself enough to demand a different outcome.
Okay.
So I was broken.
You set the boundaries.
Or lack of. That's another. We're gonna go there later, as we go on. Boundaries are so important, and we'll get there. But learning how to implement those—that's the biggest thing for someone struggling, especially someone who's fresh out of their program.
Okay. You
cannot, in my mind, my opinion, go back to the same areas, the same people, the same environments, because. For me, at least a year, as soon as you're out of a program, because triggers then start happening.
Okay.
And we'll get into all that later, but it's important to start boundaries right away in your life.
Okay. All right. Well, so again, I have myself some notes here talking about some boundaries. So I wrote some notes down. If I can find my... Where is it? Y'all bear with me because I know I wrote them.
Pertaining to boundaries?
Right, the very next page, I'm looking over it. So, healthy boundaries versus unhealthy boundaries.
Yes.
Let's kind of...
You go. What do you think?
Saying no without feeling guilty.
Yes, hardest thing. You know why? Because we've been trained to do for others. That was a part of that post too.
Yeah.
We've been conditioned, maybe not you, but women in general, to be caretakers, nurturers, all the things.
Men too. They're protectors. They're
protectors. Yeah, you're right. And then it comes to, like you said, the guilt part of saying no. Why? Why do we do that? Because we were trained that way by society, family, whoever. What's next?
Holding people accountable for their choices. So in a boundary, for example, if you decide to use whatever your drug of choice is, alcohol, drugs, whatever the thing, you cannot come in my house intoxicated, under the influence, right? What are the things? So if they make the choice to do that, they're grown, right? Now we're not talking about kids
and teenagers just trying to learn their way and get their footing. These are adult situations.
Grown men and women.
Yeah.
You make a choice.
Yeah.
And then so if you are the addict and I am the other party, and you come in and you're under the influence and I tell you you're not coming in, I've already told you.
Right.
I've made that boundary.
Very clear.
And you try to come in, yes, we're going to anticipate an argument or a fight, but hold your ground. Now, if it gets physical, please get safe. Get out of that situation. Yes. That goes to prioritizing your own well-being.
That's right.
If you feel like it's going to be physical or you're going to be in harm, then maybe at best you leave. Instead of saying, you can't come in the house, you can say, I won't be here. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I won't live like this, or I won't be around this.
Right.
And we try, as spouses or parents, we try to control, give me your debit card, give me your credit card.
Yeah, all the things.
Yeah.
But addicts are very resourceful.
Right, that's just it. You can't control them.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
These are things that I've learned. you can take all their
Yeah.
money, you can take their
Yeah.
bank card, you can take their credit cards, you can, right? They're gonna go sell
Whatever.
to get a beer, to get a joint, to get a hit, to a bump,
Whatever
it is, right? And you know, also the healthy boundaries are going to be being able to communicate without fear. That's probably one of the hardest, being able to communicate without fear.
And it is hard because
it goes both sides.
it does. It
Like
does.
an addict, they know they're going to catch hell.
Yep.
Right? They know they're going to
Be
catch
in
it
trouble,
when
whatever
they
it is.
go and say whatever it is.
I
that
made this choice again.
Mm-hmm.
They understand, but see, that just goes back to where they know it's a choice and they know there's a consequence for it.
Right.
Anything in life we do, there's a consequence, whether it's good, bad, right, of my actions or my choice. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and so that just goes back to, well, they made the choice,
And they knew the consequences.
so how is that a disease? Going back to that.
Well, because so I feel
Thought
like they say
processes.
and you know, I have argued with therapists and counselors, and just to be clear, I am not a therapist or a counselor as far as the medical field concerned, right?
Yeah. Me either.
Yeah. So it's a disease. But we have to think about it is a disease because it is a mental health issue, but it's also that choice because they've been given the tools.
Or the medication that helps with it, all the things.
Right? And here's one I hear. I don't want to take medication. I don't want to take pills. But you'd rather go buy pills or something off the street or stop at the store and buy beer or
And see, this is where I'm going to debate with you a little bit
Okay,
because I said that.
uh-huh.
I said the exact same thing because I also suffered from years of depression.
Okay.
Years of depression. And I'm talking about deep, dark holes that would take me down for weeks at a time sometimes.
Okay.
And so I knew, right? But then once I got to a place where I was ready to address my whys, okay, I said, okay. I started realizing that my depression played a part of my brokenness in my mind, to me, right?
Sure.
Because I didn't get depressed until I started focusing my thoughts, the hurt, wounds, and offenses.
Okay.
That's what kept me drinking.
Because you didn't want to think about it.
I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to address it. I wasn't ready to deal with it.
Sure.
Regardless of how many times people that I love and receive from today, I wasn't receiving from them.
Sure.
That goes back to, we're going to talk later about helping versus enabling. So anyway, now I'm on a rabbit trail again.
No, we were debating on the mental health.
Yes, and again, addiction and mental health, they go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
But in my case, I said I don't want any medication. I want to feel everything. When I decided it wasn't easy, and I'm telling y'all, there were weeks. That's why I'm grateful for programs like the one I'm believing God for RLJ Ministries, because I had the opportunity to take, it's more than 3 and 30 days when you're trying to really deal with the whys. It takes longer than that. And so when I said, I want to feel everything, because I had numbed myself for so many years.
Yeah, but that's big.
It was. And it wasn't easy.
Sure.
And not everybody decides to go that route.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that when I decided and made that choice, I went head on. Because I wasn't playing anymore.
You were all in.
I was tired of hurting people I loved.
Okay.
I was tired of hurting myself.
Okay.
I was tired of being broken and not understanding.
Sure.
So I did. I went all in, and it wasn't easy. And it took weeks and months of asking the question, why do you this? Why do you that?
Okay.
How do you view your biological father, and how do you view God? not even realizing it was one answer and the same, because I dealt with a spirit of rejection and abandonment. Well, we can get into all that later, but there's so many facets to this topic.
Sure.
We could spend a million days on it. What's next? What's next?
Unhealthy boundaries. Let's talk about unhealthy boundaries, and I want to hear from you.
Okay.
Like, what would you think unhealthy boundaries are?
Well, yeah, allowing people to just do what they want in your life.
Okay. Come and go.
Come on in when they're living that way.
Okay.
When you are like, no, remember the boundary I set?
Yeah.
You know, then we'll just get back to unhealthy boundaries because we're right back in that vicious cycle. We're not implementing what we said we wanted to.
So not following through with with the healthy boundaries.
That's right.
Okay.
And then again, you've got to get to a place where you're ready and willing to accept responsibility for your behavior. Because if you're not, you can't put healthy boundaries in place.
Sure.
From this side of the fence,
right.
My side,
right.
And you know, for people who are learning how to do that, it can be hard sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, because it's new. Yeah. It's retraining, like you said. It's
retraining your thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You already said one, feeling guilty for saying no. That's one I struggled with and still continue to struggle with to this day, in a different aspect.
Yeah.
But still. Not feeling guilty when I have to say no, I can't, or I'm sorry, I'm not able to. And the Lord has really had to work with me on that one, because that is still to this day one of the things that I really have to be conscientious of.
Yeah.
Because if not, people run right over you, take advantage of you, all the things. And so you always want to make sure you're doing those healthy boundaries.
So let me ask you, just while we're on this, you set a boundary, like I'm not buying your beer anymore.
Yeah.
We'll just use that for an example.
Right.
I'm not going to stop and buy your beer anymore. I'm not
going to be your taxi cab while you're getting drunk.
Well, so here's the thing. This is one I struggle with.
What?
I've had too much to drink. Mm-hmm. You've asked me not to drink and drive, but I need to get beer. Can you take me to the store?
No. Because if you say yes, you're enabling him or her.
Yeah. So, again, that's one I struggle with.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know my fear.
Right. Playing on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know my fear. You're going to get a DWI. You're going to kill somebody because you get a DWI and you hurt one of my grandkids, then I don't care if you're in jail or not. Yeah. I'm coming after you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
We've had those comments.
We have.
Yeah. So, so it's playing on those emotions, fears, and boundaries. Like it's the manipulation.
Addicts or people in this category are the best manipulators. And when I realized that's who I used to be, it broke my heart. It broke my heart realizing how I played. My enabler was my mom. And she says it. We've talked about it. We've shared our testimonies about it.
Sure.
But to know I intentionally always was like, well, I'll tell her this. I'll say that. Or knowing she was in my back pocket and she would come to my rescue no matter what.
So you already had it played out in your head.
Yeah. Oh, Mom will. Mom will handle it. Mom will be there. Mom this, Mom that, Mom this, Mom that.
Okay.
I didn't have to stop because Mama was there. I didn't have to do anything. Why? When there's somebody to help to pick up all my junk and my pieces and deal with my crap.
That's good stuff. Regina, that is good stuff, because that is probably the hardest part of loving an addict.
Absolutely.
Right? The manipulation, the playing on the heartstrings, well, you don't want me to drink and drive, or you don't want me going over to Jason's house, or
that's your choice.
Joanna's house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want them over here, but you don't want me going anywhere. So what do you want me to do? Right?
Yeah. And that's when the other party has to get to a place to recognize the manipulation, to recognize that they're enabling them if they give in, right? The things. And again, from a parent standpoint, like, how do you even do that? Like, I took my mama through some things. Like, I had to repent, y'all, and God restored that relationship and all the things, y'all.
Sure.
But to love an addict or someone in that state of mind is the realest form of unconditional love and the love of God that anyone could express to anyone. And I don't know that I could.
Yeah, because we're in the flesh.
That's when you gotta just take it all captive.
Yeah, so keeping secrets to protect.
Keeping secrets to protect the addict. Oh yeah. Well, and then so like in our situation, my mom, she lived in complete denial until we had to address it.
Sure.
Until I made that choice. So when
when
I made the choice, it's when we all started healing.
Okay.
When we just didn't push things under the rug anymore.
Okay.
When we just didn't talk about it because that's just not what we do.
Okay.
So, you got to talk about
things.
things.
And on my end of it, it was the phone call, like, I don't want you telling, I don't want you, actually, the words were more like, it wasn't that nice. So, and some of y'all might recognize this, like, keep your mouth shut. It's nobody's business.
Yeah.
Why are they in my business? Why do they know my business?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They shame you.
They do. Shaming is part of manipulation. Yep.
Yeah. Ignoring your personal needs to protect the addict.
Yeah. That's hard.
Because you're hovering, right? So you're not going to get a pedicure, or you're not going to a family function because you don't want to drag them along because they're intoxicated or under the influence. Again, that's that secret, right? You don't take them along.
Where's such and such?
I was at a birthday party last week, whenever. Oh, where's, oh, he's not here. He had stuff to do.
And and in that facet, I think it's okay to be protective, because everybody don't need to know your business, and be very selective with who you let in on those things, because even
but no, this was my family.
Oh well, I was gonna say, even that's where I was going. Even family can be
it was
critical
family.
And judgmental. Yeah.
And oh, absolutely judgmental.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I knew you made the wrong choice, or
condemnation.
Why have you been here with him for 15 years, and why have you put up with it for so long, and all the things, right? Anyway,
it's tough. It's hard.
Yeah.
And it just goes back to learning how do I implement those boundaries? How do I protect myself? How do I deal with all the things? And so that's what we're hoping we can shed light on with this podcast. If you are just joining us, I'm Regina. This is Michelle.
Yes.
We're doing real talk, love, loss, and recovery, or deliverance, however you want to look at it. And so we're just talking about our own experiences, sharing some statistics,
identifying personal boundaries,
all the unhealthy boundaries.
Yes. Knowing your emotional, mental, and physical limits.
Yep. And then this right here.
2 sides of addiction. One honest conversation.
Yep.
That's the main thing. 2 different sides, looking at it from 2 different viewpoints, right? 2 different POVs.
So Michelle, she's like, I can see both sides, because I've been in addiction and now I'm not in addiction, and I've loved people in addiction now that I'm sober, right? So being able to even see the reflection of
and seeing, going, oh, I did that too.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
And then let me share something else with y'all. How come I'm being judged because I don't drink no more?
Ooh.
How come I'm being judged? Oh, you think you're too good? I sure do think I'm too good to let myself slip back in that mode. But y'all don't know what you did. God don't know what it did to me. And so then, sometimes that opens up conversations that help others.
Hey,
But so if you're gonna judge me at first, it's okay. We'll get through it.
there you go. There you go. Yeah. And you know, people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, they're like stick in the mud. I'm not a stick in the mud.
No.
I do drink on occasion. I ain't gonna lie. I
I
mean,
I'll have a glass of wine and all
Yeah.
the things, but I can't drink like I was an alcoholic.
yeah. And knowing the difference.
I don't want a chance that there's
That's
things
a
called
choice.
triggers.
That's that choice.
Exactly. There's no way I would jeopardize all that the Lord has done for me and delivered me from just for a little whatever.
It
In a
could
moment
lead down
that
a bad trail.
a more of a worse
Yes.
trail
yes.
because now I know the difference. I've had the tools and all the things.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Like, okay. This is good stuff. I
It
think
is.
we're going to start doing some lives. Like, this one is
Okay.
going to be pre-recorded,
Okay,
right? But I feel like some lives might be good
think so,
for
too.
us.
I think so too.
And so stick with us because, yes, we have our notes, right? Like,
But there are conversations we never have notes. Like,
yeah.
and we only have notes because we are rabbit trailers sometimes.
Yeah.
But Michelle and I, y'all, we met to kayak. God knew that we were supposed to be walking this
That was
walk.
2 years ago.
2 years. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm grateful
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
relationship. And
Absolutely.
we had no clue that we would be on this journey together and able to relate with one another and walk in life. I call it walking life with each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say this walk has been enlightening, and it has also been refreshing.
Yes, I agree. And then just having a support system in place.
Sure.
Like, you know, the days that are hard. I have
Yeah.
a t-shirt that says, don't let the hard days win.
Yes.
And every day is not peaches and cream. And so when those hard days come, knowing that there's someone that can relate or that you can turn to that will just be that ear for you, you know.
Yeah.
Find those people in your life. That's what I
Oh,
would say.
absolutely. And we're gonna actually put at the end. So make sure you stay to the end. Make sure that our email is love.lost.recovery@gmail.com. And I'll put that in there. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for sure. We're going to have the next one. We're going to be, and we've got an outline of our topics. They may or may not stay on topic.
But we probably won't.
Our second one is going to be called What They Don't Tell You About Loving an Addict. A raw conversation about the emotional toll, stigma, hope, resentment, and confusion. Boundaries, codependency, and survival.
That's good stuff, girl.
Codependency is hand in hand. Mental health. It's on the our stories.
This one?
Yeah, our second one.
Oh,
What
here.
They Don't Tell You.
Oh, okay. So now I'm
Yes.
going to do my check. Yeah, I
Right?
have a checklist. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So, I already said don't forget to subscribe, leave a review. That's what I didn't tell you. And until next time, take care of yourself and
Each other. What show was that on? Take care of yourself and each other. It was on something coming up, and I'm an 80s baby, so.
yeah. Well,
Do you remember that?
no.
Well, anyway.
But I'm older, so my memory's going.
Oh, well, take care of yourself and each
Yes.
other.
And remember, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Real talk, transparency,
Yes.
vulnerability.
Absolutely.
Y'all have a
Two
good
sides
day.
of addiction, one honest conversation, and we're good. Thank y'all.